Russian Presidential Academy of National Economy, and this is Kingston CIPD IHRM Master's Program, and this is the first module, October module, started today during this sunny, nice day in Moscow. And my guest today here is Andy Crossey, Senior Vice President HR, Capgemini Group. So,
Hi.
hello Andy.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you.
Okay. So, my first question is, could you please tell us about yourself? What are you doing at the moment? What are the projects that you're carrying out at your main work?
Okay, so I'm an HR professional with over 30 years experience in a huge variety of HR roles. I did around about 20 years in the financial services industry and did a variety of HR, talent and learning roles in that environment. I then moved into the consultancy field and did HR consultancy with Ernst & Young, and then to the Capgemini Group, where I led a large consulting team of HR consultants, setting up HR strategy and structures for a wide variety of organisations. So I've worked for large retailers, financial services, public sector, private sector. So I've been very fortunate in my career that I've gained a huge variety of experience.
Okay, great. So I understand that at the moment you're working full-time at Capgemini.
Yes.
Okay. What kind of projects are you involved in?
A wide range, really. Over the last few years, my focus has been on talent management, and one of the key areas of that has been how do we transform people who are great managers into great leaders. Over the last few months, my focus has been moving more towards learning and how do we enable our 180,000 people to get the learning that they need to do a fantastic job for our clients.
Great. As I understand, this is quite a challenging job. How do you manage to combine your full-time work and coming here to Moscow to teach Moscow students?
Well, although I have a very challenging job, as you say, which I enjoy greatly, something else that I enjoy a lot is my work with various business schools and learning institutions. And it's something I enjoy hugely, and that helps me find the time to fit it in. So I am managing to balance the two. I think it's a great benefit for me and the organisation I work for full time, because it gives me a great opportunity to meet HR practitioners from all over the world, and I hope I have knowledge to share with them, but I also hope it enables me to gather lots of knowledge about how HR is developing and the themes and hotspots around the world.
Okay, great. Very interesting, actually. And well, let us now speak about the program itself. So this is the module that people start normally our program with. This is HRM in context, and so you are the guest lecturer, guest practitioner who co-leads the module as well. So could you please tell us a few words about the module? What is this about? Why is it so important for people to start with it?
Okay, well, the people on the course are HR practitioners who've already got quite a significant amount of experience. And what this module does, it helps them understand the context that they're working in. Sometimes if you work in HR in an organisation, you can become very focused on the role that you do and how it operates in your organisation. And I believe it's of huge benefit to see how that fits into the wider context, how what you do compares with what your colleagues are doing in different organisations. So what I think it does is give that context and also cover some really key issues that are facing HR practitioners at the moment. One of the more important ones being the management of change. One of the key challenges that we face in human resources is our involvement in how we change organisations. So that's one of the areas that we focus on to help our practitioners learn from each other and execute that role better.
Okay, what are the other main issues that you're covering during this module?
We cover, as well as change management,
right.
we do a little bit around the history of HR and how it evolved. Not a huge amount, but enough to give people an understanding of how HR has evolved and basically how we've got to where we are today. And I think that is a very useful insight. We also do quite a bit on HR strategy and, most importantly, how that fits in with corporate strategy. It's my view that quite often when corporate strategies are developed, human resources is invited to take part in that just rather too late. And therefore, what we do is focus on how corporate strategy and HR strategy need to be developed together and work together as well.
Okay, now we've covered everything about the module that you're teaching. I would like to ask you about the group of students that you're teaching. What do you think about the group?
Well, my experience is that the people that come on this module are fantastic practitioners, and what strikes me most of all is their willingness to ask questions and to challenge, and also to share their own experience. I think I'm very privileged that I get to teach groups of practitioners all over the world, and I would say that the Russian students are very similar to the students that I teach in Indian business schools. Always very active in their involvement in the class, very engaging, very keen to make sure they understand things. And what I like most of all is if they don't understand something, they will tell me and ask questions, which is exactly how it should be. But also they're very willing to challenge very politely, but if they don't agree with something, then they certainly tell me and we can discuss it. And I think that's the major value that we get. I think the mixing of the group, the sharing of experience with each other, their willingness to engage and challenge me, I think that's what makes it rewarding. So I genuinely believe that the students that I work with in Moscow, certainly it's one of the most enjoyable activities I do, but I also believe they work hard to get maximum value out of what we're delivering.
Okay, thank you. And my probably last question would be, why do you think such senior HR people, such experienced HR professionals that we have, so normally most of them have from 7 to 10 or even more years in HR already, why do they come and study here at our program? What is the benefit from them?
I've already really started to talk about that, I guess, because I think one of the main benefits is the mixing with others who are doing similar jobs but in different organisations. And whether you've got 10, 20 or 30 years experience, you still have a lot to learn. HR is a very, very broad subject. People sometimes think it's quite narrow, but absolutely not the case. It's very wide. There's any number of different ways of doing things. There's no single model of HR that works everywhere. And that's why I think it's a huge benefit to enable people to understand the context they're working in, but also to relate their role to the same role in other organisations. I have to say, in all honesty, I learn a lot from doing this, and I've got 30 years experience, or over 30 years, and therefore people with 10, 15, 20 years experience, hugely valuable to get together. Let's all learn from each other, because everybody has a best practice, everybody has a success story, and also everybody has an experience of where things have not gone as they've wished. Huge benefit for all of us, the more that we can share that and learn from each other. So for me, that's the key reason to attend.
Okay, so this is sort of a moderated discussions that you have, right? So the program is a framework that gives us the topics, the hot topics that are evolving during the times, right?
Absolutely. What I do is set the framework. I set some of the theory, but for me what's most important is to share my experience of the practical side. All of the theories are fantastic to an extent, but how they work in practice can sometimes be very different. Some of them are more successful than others, and I think it's the discussion around what we've done in our experience that enables us to see where the theories are useful, where they provide guidance only, or where sometimes we're best just to forget those and use our practical experience. I try and make the whole thing as discussion based as possible. People at this level don't simply want to sit there and hear me talking. Textbooks, slides, all of this sort of thing may be informative, but we get far more out of that discussion and talking to each other, challenging each other and sharing.
Okay, thank you so much, Andy, for sharing the ideas with us, and we hope to see next year's students with us, meeting Andy on such a lovely October day in year 2016.
Yes, my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.